When did you know that you were an artist?
Well, I think I was born an artist, for one thing. My mother, Amy Schweig, was an artist. My father was a photographer. His father was a photographer, so I think I was born with a vision.
Who was the most influential person in your art career?
Well, in a way, I think was probably my mother, but I must say that there was a lot of encouragement from my family and from the city itself of St. Louis. Everybody was very helpful. Actually, the women's movement didn't take off until I think the 70s. But I never had any problem with that because actually I had a modicum of success from the beginning. So I never noticed whether anything was male or female. The other thing also is that my name, I always use my name Martyl and never all the other names because they were my mother's name and so forth, so I use just the one name. And sometimes I get mail as Mr. Martyl, so there's no doubt that the society was male-oriented. But I never noticed it because I was told that I painted, I still remember it, I was told, she paints like a man. I guess that was a compliment. However, I did not paint what was stereotypical of women painters, which was either flowers and still lifes and you know, pastel-y colors and things. And so that's my reaction to that. I had no problem until I was conscious about the women's movement, and indeed in the larger society it is still an uneven situation, but much more improved.
Are you still painting?
Oh my, yes, of course. When people ask me that, I say, are you still breathing? The fact is that creative people never stop doing what they have a passion for.
Who are some of the artists that you recall from your years of painting?
Well, I had the good fortune of knowing a lot of famous artists because my mother, having founded the school in St. Genevieve, and she drew quite a few, pardon the pun, she attracted many artists like Tom Benton and Joe Jones, and they were big influence on me.
To what extent were you involved in the Artist Colony and Summer School of Art in St. Genevieve?
I think of myself having been very helpful. I did all sorts of gathering of helping get the models to pose, and I think I just was around, and then after I became more adept at drawing and painting, eventually I became an assistant teacher, and I would do all sorts of helpful hints on how to paint a masterpiece.
What are some events and or people that you recall while painting in St. Genevieve?
Oh, the events were numerous, and I have many, many recollections, so I'll just have to say whatever comes to mind. One was Saturday nights in the Dugout, which was a below street level bar and music making, and I remember Tom Benton playing the guitar on a Saturday night. I also remember picnics in the marble quarry, which was always very cool, wonderful, and also remember Father Van, the wonderful head of the church, who recognized the fact that Missouri was a segregated state, and he didn't approve of the idea that blacks could not stay overnight in any town in the state of Illinois and Missouri. And he had a dirt farmer come and live with his family in the heart of St. Genevieve in one of the houses that the church owned. That was one of the vivid things of my remembrance in St. Genevieve, that he tried to do his part in doing away with segregation.
What people did you recall while painting in St. Genevieve?
Natives of St. Genevieve?
Sure.
Well, there were certainly many characters. There were the Rozier family and Jules Valley and Mildred Rutledge, who ran her father's drugstore. I also remember all sorts of characters, and there were lots of them.
Did you enjoy painting workshops, or do you prefer venturing out alone or with artist friends?
All of the above, I would say, because the nature of painting is really a lone enterprise. But in order to gather material, I've done it with artists from all over the country, actually, in ones and twos, but not very often. It's mostly painting as a contemplative occupation. Well, the most obvious is its unbelievable diversity, I think. Art has branched out every which way, off the wall, in the wall, every which way. And just as our society has become more diverse, so has the artists and their work.
Which artist influenced your interest in abstract art, and at what age did you start drawing abstractly?
I think, as I mentioned, the person that influenced me, the artist that influenced me, when I went to New York and I saw a huge exhibition of Cézanne, and that has stayed with me my whole life. I was really overwhelmed and awed by that exhibition, and mostly I don't know that I was influenced by any exact person.
What do you feel is your greatest work?
Well, I think my greatest was probably finding my brilliant husband, Alexander Langsdorff, and producing two good-looking daughters who are very smart, who then produced four of my grandchildren who are also good-looking and smart, and I think that's an achievement besides having a career as an artist.